Karangasem, the latest on a rumbling volcano on the Indonesian tourist island of Bali, all times local. 8:30 p.m. Ash from Bali's volcano is disrupting life on parts of the tourist island that are outside the immediate danger zone. At Wainagiri village, some residents said they were leaving because the area is now inhospitable for their livestock. Villager Maid Kurta Kartika said ash has covered the area since Sunday and made farming difficult. Ash that covered the trees and grass is very difficult for us because the cows cannot eat, he said. I have to move the cows from this village. The eruption of Mount Agung has forced the closure of the island's airport, and authorities have ordered 100,000 people to evacuate from areas close to the volcano. .7:05 p.m. China says there were 17,000 Chinese tourists on Bali before the latest eruption of Mount Agung. The Chinese consulate on the Indonesian island said on its website that airlines and travel services were arranging 100 buses to take tourists to catch ferries to neighboring Java. The Chinese Foreign Ministry issued a statement urging travelers to be vigilant about safety when deciding whether to visit Bali. China Eastern Airlines, one of the country's biggest carriers, cancelled flights Sunday and said passengers due to fly any time between then and December 10 could obtain refunds. .4:15 p.m. The closure of Bali's airport due to volcanic ash is having a disruptive effect on flights around Indonesia and the region. Bali is a hub airport in Indonesia with many flights transiting there for domestic as well as international destinations. Planes that would have flown other routes yesterday are now stuck on the tarmac in Bali. Human Rights Watch Indonesia researcher Andreas Harsono said he was waiting 2 hours at Jakarta's Terminal 3 for his delayed flight to a domestic destination. He said other flight delays have been announced at the terminal, which serves national carrier Garuda, and the departure area is filling up with many waiting passengers. .1:10 p.m. Spokesman for Indonesia's disaster mitigation agency says lava is welling up in the crater of the Mount Agung volcano on Bali, which will certainly spill over to the slopes. Volcanologists say the lava's presence is sometimes reflected in the ash plume, which takes on a reddish-orange glow even in daytime. Agency spokesman Sutopo Purwo Nugroho said bigger eruptions than those currently happening are possible based on the information the disaster agency is receiving from the Volcano Monitoring Center. He said that since yesterday there were explosive eruptions whose sound was heard up to 12 kilometers, 7.5 miles, away. Nugroho said officials are responding based on a worst-case scenario occurring because Agung has a history of violent eruptions. Its last major eruption in 1963 killed about 1,100 people. He said we cannot be sure whether this time eruptions will be the same with 1963. .11:50 a.m. Indonesia's disaster mitigation agency says as many as 100,000 villagers need to leave the expanded danger zone around the Mount Agung volcano on Bali, but that less than half that number have left. Spokesman Sutopo Purwo Nugroho told a news conference in Jakarta that the extension of the danger zone to 10 kilometers, 6 miles, from the crater in places affects 22 villages and about 90,000 to 100,000 people.